Hey everyone, welcome back to the Zero to Profits podcast. I know it's been a while, about 3 months actually, and I need to tell you what happened. Y'all know tax season was crazy busy this year, which you probably expected. But what I didn't expect was that I ended up in the hospital with pneumonia right in the middle of everything. And I mean, that knocked me out for a few weeks. And honestly, it took me way longer than I thought to feel normal again. So I've never had pneumonia before, and the complications from it were pretty scary. So I'm doing everything I can to get back on my feet and recover. And I'm actually making sure to change my lifestyle a little bit, ensure that I stay that way. So I want to thank everybody who has sent messages, prayers, and kind words. It really meant a lot to me and my family during that tough time. Your support reminded me why I love talking to you guys so much. But now that I'm back, I am super excited about where we're going with this podcast. Listen. Over the past few months, I have been thinking about all of the conversations I've had with business owners. I mean, really successful ones, people making serious money. And I keep hearing the same thing over and over. Their businesses are making sales, but personally, they're not able to see any of it. I'm talking about business owners who are bringing in $30,000, $50,000, even up to $100,000 a month, and they can't even figure out how to pay themselves. A lot of them are feeling bad taking money from the business because the cash flow issues that they've had have caused them to get loans in the past. And now they're stressed about their own bills after some of them have even had their best months in sales ever. They're working harder than anybody they know, and they still live paycheck to paycheck. And honestly, that really hits close to home to me because I have been there. So I want to talk about something today that I think is going to hit home for a lot of you. You know that feeling when your business has just had an amazing month. Maybe you've made 30,000, 50,000, or even 100,000 in sales. And on one hand, you're celebrating, but then on the other hand, you go to look at your account after a few days and nothing is left. I mean, you're looking at your bank account thinking, man, where did all my money go? You made all this money, but somehow you forgot about paying rent, payroll, supplies, utilities, and other things that maybe have just come up. And now you've built this obsessive habit of checking your bank balance. Even if someone is buying something like coffee, you get all these little nervous money routines down so as much as where you're wondering if this whole business thing is even actually working for you. If that is you right now, what I'm about to share is going to change everything. Because I figured out exactly why successful businesses just like you stay broke. And check this out. It has nothing to do with how much money you're making. Okay, so let me tell y'all about a story from 2019. That year on paper, we looked amazing, but it almost broke me. That year, 2019, our business brought in about $750,000. We had clients calling us all the time. My team was growing. We were getting people telling their friends and their other business associates about us left and right. I mean, from the outside, it looked like we had everything figured out. Me personally, just looking at the paper, it felt like we had made it, right? And I just knew at some moment things were going to turn around. But honestly, when I sat down at the end of that year and I really looked at what was left, I realized we were only making about $5 for every client. Not 5,000, five. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. After paying my team, paying for software, paying for our office, paying for everything else, the money was gone before it ever got to me. And here's the thing. My breaking point came one Friday in November. On Fridays is when I normally pay my team. And since it was November, this was basically after Thanksgiving. So it was at the end of that month. So I vividly remember opening up the business bank account on my phone, and I saw $12,000 sitting there. I honestly thought that by that time, all my bills were paid for that month. So my first thought was, finally, we got some money left over. Things are starting to turn around. We're starting to see the growth come, right? But then Thanksgiving holiday went through, and then on Tuesday, I opened that app up again, and a different story showed up. I had a negative $1,000 pending. I had realized that over the weekend, I had paid my team $7,000 money they worked for. Then I paid $3,000 for our office rent. And then out of nowhere, our business insurance policy came in, and that bill was $2,000. And the thing is, I forgot that all of these were on auto pay, right? So obviously I am super frustrated at this point. And the thing was, that Friday, I literally had made a transfer to myself for $1,000. So let's do the math, right? 7 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, that's $13,000 that I needed for that week, but I only had $12,000 in the bank. So that 1,000 that was on auto pay or that transfer that I literally was supposed to pay myself, it made my account go negative. So I did what every good business owner does is I went without paying myself. I reversed the transfer so that my account wouldn't go into negative and I wouldn't have any bank charges. So yet again, me and my family had to go another week without any money coming in. Also, we had to go another week of me having to explain to my wife why there wasn't any money for groceries, or basically why we had to wait a whole nother week to even pay our own bills, right? And that's when it hit me. I was running a $750,000 business with $12,000 in the bank. And every time I'm always the last person to get paid. And that's even if I got paid at all. Here I was. I'm helping other business owners save tons of money on their taxes. And I'm helping all these other business owners get their money right. And deep down, behind closed doors, I couldn't figure out how to pay myself for my own business. Other people saw me as successful, right? They doing stories and everything on us. But for me, it was crazy because up to that point, we had our best year in sales, right? I had never seen that type of money before. Money was coming in, clients was paying us, invoices were being turned around, but somehow none of that money was getting to me personally. And I was frustrated. That's when I figured out I had created a huge problem by skipping steps in how I handle money. All right, so here's what I figured out and what every business owner making at least $30,000 a month, you really need to understand this, right? So listen, making wealth is like having a triangle with three corners. One of them is make money, one of them is manage money, and the other is multiply money, right? But the issue is, the secret is, nobody talks about this. When you skip the manage corner, what you do is you create a huge hole right here that basically allows your money to drain away. So there are three reasons why your business is making money, but you don't get any of it. So what are those three reasons, right? The reasons that you make money, but you don't get any of it. So reason number one, you jump from the make money phase directly to the multiply money phase, and you created that huge hole by skipping the manage money phase, right? So corner number one, this is making money. You're already great at this. That's why you're hitting the $30,000, $50,000, maybe even $100,000 months, right? You already know how to get clients and customers. You know how to create things to sell. You know how to bring cash in the door. Nobody's trying to train you on that. You already know that. You're a master at that. Corner number three is multiply money. You're probably working on this too now. Now that you've made this money, you're trying to grow your business, hire new people, create new things to sell, maybe expand the business, and maybe even add more stuff. But here is where the problem is. When you skip that corner number two, manage money, what you're doing is you're creating a huge hole in your wealth triangle, right? Money flows in from your successful sales, but instead of it flowing up and being, instead of it being organized and flows up to multiply, it's leaking out before you ever get to the multiply sales. And that's why you never see it, right? You're trying to multiply money that's already leaking away because you're skipping a step that would have kept it safe, right? So reason number two, the more money you make, the bigger your hole becomes. This is why business owners that make 30,000, 50,000, or even 100,000, they still feel broke, right? In 2019, I was trying to grow my business with a huge hole in my system because I was trying to add more ways to make money, hire more people, buy more tools, all while money was pouring out the gap that I had created by not managing it. And I did not realize it. What I did was, it's just like filling up a bucket that has a hole at the bottom. The faster you pour, the more you lose. So like when I made $80,000, $100,000 months, it created way bigger holes than the $50,000 months because there was more money to drain in here because that hole was bigger, right? So listen, every dollar in your business knows exactly where it's going. Your team is going to get their paychecks. Your software is going to get paid. Automatically, your contractors are going to get paid as well. And even your taxes are going to get paid. But because you skipped that managing part, then guess what? There's no system to catch money for you, right? It all leaks out. It leaks out because everybody else is getting paid except you, right? So let's go to reason number 3. The reason why you feel broke, even when others call your business successful, right? You're not failing. Your sales prove that. You're great at making money. But the hole you created it by skipping the managing part, which means that none of the money ever stays in that triangle long enough to become yours, right? So we got to fix that. Without the managing corner, your wealth triangle can't hold money. It just can't hold it because you become the hardest working person in your own company. You're taking the biggest risk. You're carrying all of the stress. And at the end of the day, you end up watching all of the money leak out because everybody else is getting it. Make sense? You've basically built a very, very expensive way to give other people jobs while you work for free, right? So your business may have $30,000 months, $50,000 months, $100,000 months in sales, but you don't make money from your business because your triangle has this huge hole where the managing part should be. Make sense? Okay, now that you know you have a whole problem with your triangle, what is the answer for yourself if you make lots of money but you can't pay yourself? Well, obvious what we need to do is we need to stop the hole by building that missing corner of your wealth triangle. That wealth triangle, right? That managed money corner, that corner keeps money safe and sensitive to you. So for me, after my 2019 wake-up call, I had to completely stop trying to grow my business and I focused on fixing that huge hole I created. I created a simple system that plugs the hole and made sure money stays in that triangle long enough to reach me, right? So here's what fixing that hole actually looks like. So the first thing is you actually got to build that missing managing corner by giving every dollar a job. No more random spending. No more hoping that there will be something left over from your high dollar months, right? Every dollar gets organized and sent somewhere on purpose. The second thing is you have to fix the hole that's draining the money away from paying you, right? Paying yourself has to become the first thing that you do, not the last. If money is still leaking out to everyone else first, then that hole isn't fixed. Then the last thing you need to do is you need to create a system to keep the hole sealed. Money set aside for taxes, money saved for slow months, and then also basic clear rules that prevent money from leaking out when it should. Does that make sense? Once I fixed the hole for myself and I built that complete wealth triangle, everything changed in my business. I went from doing a $750,000 business that couldn't pay me to not only paying myself weekly, but then I ended up having enough money to build a home for my family. I have funded multiple business ideas and I also give money to causes I care about. And here's the thing. I still do this even when our business has down years now. So here's what really matters for business owners just like you, right? Now, when I have those big sales months, the money stays in my triangle and actually builds my wealth instead of leaking out to everybody else. So this whole fixing system that I created has helped hundreds of business owners who make lots of money in sales, seal their holes and complete their triangles. One client went from not having no pay at all, despite having 200,000 sales months, to now he's doing $10,000 monthly paychecks. Another client went from keeping 5% of what they made to now keeping over 30% of what they made. The thing is, they were already great at making sales, just like you, right? They just needed to fix the hole that they've created by skipping the money management part. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you're making over $30,000 in sales every month, here is what I want you to ask yourself right now. Do I have a hole in my wealth triangle? Am I trying to multiply money that's actually leaking away? If you're hitting 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 in sales, but you still can't pay yourself every month, and you're adding more complexity, you're chasing loans, you're chasing growth, and you're trying to grow your business, but your personal account stays empty, you literally have a hole created by skipping the managing part. And the thing is, you need to fix that hole before you try to grow anymore, or else every new dollar you make will just leak away. It will leak out faster, leaving you working harder and harder while just staying as broke, or even broker than you were before. Now, I know that's painful to hear, but I have something special for you coming, right? This is for business owners who are ready to finally fix their wealth triangle hole. What I'm going to do is on Friday, August 8th, I am releasing something that I have never done before, the 30 days to 1K challenge. This is a challenge that includes my brand new book, The Built to Pay You Because You Hadn't Worked This Hard to Stay Broke, a 30-day, day-by-day plan to increase your cash flow by at least $1,000, a daily video course that walked you through fixing your wealth triangle hole and how to build the managing corner so money from your big sales months flows to you every week instead of leaking away in just 30 days. In addition, I will include a community where we will have 4 weekly coaching sessions for support and accountability. There is so much value that's going to be included in this system that I cannot imagine anyone going through this pain not taking part of this. But please listen to me very, very carefully right now. This system is not about making more money. You've already proven you can do that. This is about stopping the hole that's draining away the money from your successful months. I want to make sure we're clear on that. So if you are interested and want to know the moment this goes live and you want to get access to the free training I'm doing before the launch, what I need you to do right now is subscribe to this channel and send me a message or an email right now. I'm going to put the details in the description. Just say in the title, "Fix My Hole," and I'll make sure you're the first to know. You can also message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or even send me an email directly. I will place my contact information in the description too. Before I go, I just want to formally thank you guys again for welcoming me back to the Zero to Profits podcast. And I'm so excited about the new direction for this show. We're going to help a whole lot of business owners finally get paid what they deserve. I'll see you guys in the next episode.